everybody. Welcome to Table Talk Tuesday. Look, I'm so tongue-tied. I apologize. How you guys doing? Look, y'all, I'm so excited. We've been back there, back in the room, just talking about some things going, what we want to do, how we're collaborating, and things like that. But before I bring on my guests so we can talk about what's going on, first and foremost, welcome to Table Talk Tuesday. You know how I do it. I bring on amazing community workers and organizations around here in Columbus. We talk about what they're doing and how they're impacting the community and how you can get involved. So if this is you, real quick, let me give you some housekeeping rules. If you do not have StreamYard or you're not part of StreamYard, the only way we can see your instant message, you're going to have to give me permission. If not, I do have my phone. I will be watching them over here. Any messages that you're dropping, any nuggets that you're dropping, I'll be able to read them here for the ladies to help us answer them on the way. If not, once you give me grace, I will definitely get back to you. I will give you your shout out. You know, I love some shout out. I love some celebration. I will do that as well. So if without further ado, grab your pen and paper. Look, y'all, I got mine. I got my pen. Now, you know what happens when I get going. So we're just going to have a fun time. So without further ado, let me bring on the amazing. First, I have Deshawn Johnson, the Executive Director of At the Table. And then I have Jamez. She is actually the fashion director, the fashion show director for At the Table. How you doing, ladies?
Good. How are you?
We are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Jamez. Hey, Miss Pamela.
Hello. I'm excited. I've told everybody if they drop the nuggets for us, I will be reading them on the screen for us. If they don't want to do that, they can drop us and I will read it to us. But I believe in us getting out here and doing connection. And I think it's so important that we get out here, empower, inspire our community to get involved. And this is one way to do it. So, Deshawn, before we get into the meat of this, tell everybody a little bit about At the Table.
Well, hello, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining. And At the Table is a nonprofit organization that supports women cancer survivors. And we specifically focus on African American women with the prevention, awareness, and education. The statistics for African American women, the survival rate is less. Statistics show less than the survival rates of white women. So what we want to do is support and get the information out and give that community the information and resources they need to turn those numbers around. And then we support young girls through our mentorship program called Thrive, and we focus on personal development. And we are 8 years into doing women and girls advocacy. And as I see going down the pages, the sponsor for tonight, which is the Denise Pittman Scholarship Program, that scholarship is proudly named after the co-founder of At the Table, Denise Pittman. And we award, through that program, we award scholarships to high school graduating girls and college students that are already attending a college up to the age of 26 that's affected by cancer. So that's basically what we do. You know, our focus is health and wellness, complete holistic health and wellness.
And I love it. And I'm glad we do talk about, because as we turn on the TV and we see about the cancer, about especially all cancers, breast cancer, cervical cancer, all cancers. But I'm glad that we have an organization here in Columbus that is just specifically honing in on the African American women. Statistics has shown that the reason why a lot of women don't even go for the mammogram is because of, one, either lack of transportation transportation, 2, the lack of resource of getting there, or 3, the lack of provider. And so I'm glad to see that at the table we'll be able now to break down those barriers so that women, so the survival rate will be going up, and we'll also be able to help women connect with other women that are going through it. That's also, the support is so important.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I so commend you guys for doing it, and keep up the great job.
Thank
So
you.
one of the amazing events that comes out of At the Table is the fashion show. Woohoo!
Yes, yes. We talk about, we wanted, and then we'll talk a little bit more at the end because we do other, we're excited about the new support group. And the signature event for the year is we celebrate the survivors with a fashion show. And I'm talking about an amazing fashion show. And we're excited to do that this year. This is our 8th annual. So Miss Jamez is going to really talk about that. And before, Jamez has been with At the Table for about, I think this is the 4th fashion show. And Jamez is one of those persons that when you see her, what's gonna, you already know we're gonna do something. So she has been not only a light for At the Table and what the fashion show means, she has been such a blessing to each and every uh woman that walks that runway. So there's a special story that goes with it, and her heart is in it. And I don't want to, I'll keep going on about her, but
Deshaun,
Jamez.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
So
thank you. First off, Vision Made and Table Talk and all this with Pam and what you do. You're such a phenomenal woman, and I thank you for
Yes.
this platform and us being able to highlight At the Table and the cancer survivorship and what it means. And Deshaun, letting me be your coordinator for the 4th year in a row for why I came on. First, that connection, that collaboration, and that God sent divine, reason. But my mother, was the reason why you had reached out to me with remembering how I do things, and my mom being a part of At the Table, because she was once a survivor and still is a survivor in my eyes, and everything that she did with her walk. And it was a great show that she did. And I was like, look at you, Mom. You got reason to walk. And she was like, I'm nervous. And I'm like, for what? You taught me how to walk in my essence and be the star that I could be. But you are Star Randall. You are my mother. You have your reasons. And At the Table provided her a platform to be able to say, hey, I went through this bout. I have a support group of women that I could reach out to and say, thank you. Thank you for letting me say, hey, I'm having a moment. I don't know what that moment might be, or whatever the case may be. At the Table can provide that for you. And that they did that for her. It gave her that new exploration that survivorship should be. It's not standing in something that you weren't once in, but moving beyond that and knowing survive, live, and thrive. That alone.
Absolutely.
So I thank you with that connection with At the Table and my mother, that star sent reason. I got the sun coming in on me, y'all, and I'm about to cry.
I see it. I see it. I
told her it fits her so perfectly for her.
I do.
And for all of her that she does. So let me ask you this, ladies. Look, I'm excited about the fashion show. Do we have a theme yet? I'm always asking Deshaun, do we have a theme yet this year? And if so, can we talk about the theme this year?
Jamez comes up with the theme every year, and I love this year's theme.
Oh man, it's that this year's theme, the threads of hope with love in every stitch.
I love it.
So, I just want to put that out there real quick. I don't want to put too much out.
No, go ahead.
Well, I know in the beginning when we first, because we talk in the beginning, it's like January 1st, I was like, oh, we got to talk. And I told you, Miss, it was so important that God just gave me a word for women African American women, that this
Right.
has to be the season to come together in love and support one another. I'll let you take it from there.
And when she said come together, I was like, oh, that's like, that's the thought of how we thread, and
Mhm.
we hope that we could get that message conveyed. So why not be those threads of hope and love in every stitch of that connection? That is a connection within itself.
Mhm.
Um, and we all have a story to tell.
So
That's right.
true. That's absolutely right. And I like that though we're the
Mm,
threads. The thread
mm,
is such because
mhm.
thread represents so many things in so many different ways. I won't get deep because I will take it to such another level. and
Okay.
and I will take right. I will keep it going, and then you'll be like, Pam, come back. But
Mm-mm.
thread has a totally different meaning because it is just like an infinite. It is not. It's continuous, and it connects from one place to one place in one place, and it's a nonstop kind of communication. And so with thread. I love it that we need the thread. We need that communication and we need that connection that connects us all together and be in one place. So
And
like
it's many colors.
right,
I'm seeing colors because we bring so many different components of beauty.
yes.
So when it's all together, there's a Ooh, honey, you know what? I feel I don't know why. I know this ain't no church, but I just, but because I know what, mm, it
Can,
brings, you go ahead, Jamez.
can I just say, with even the word thread, what came to mind while we are talking about it is the heavy remembrance
Mhm.
empowering all dynamics. That right there,
Right,
It's
those
powerful. That's powerful.
the heavy
right.
remembrance
Semblance. Mhm.
empowering all dynamics. That's
Mhm.
thread right there for the THREAD. That's how you want people to come together. Remember how the connection and the essence is what it is
Right,
with what you do.
right.
Right.
I hope we love you and we
Mm,
want you to come walk in that.
Right. And
I-
what a perfect place to come walk is in there.
mm,
Where are they having it at? Where is it going to be held at? Do we know?
Yes, so I do have the date for you. It is September the 14th. We want to thank Deshawn and that collaboration she keeps with the Columbus Academy
they are
that we're having it
amazing.
there.
They're
It's an
amazing.
amazing venue space that is over there off of Morris Road. And again, it's a beautiful venue space. So
Mhm.
come, you will be able to breathe when you come into the space, feel invited, feel loved, and feel connected. It's a
Yeah,
survivorship. We
right,
all going through
right,
something.
right.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
the net, and even on Saturday when we did the meet and greet for the women, these women, they ain't coming with a sad story. It's empowering.
Mhm.
And you get a sense of networking. Like, now I have a sister. And
Right.
then you guys talk even after the event. We keep close. So I think getting the network, because it's really not about, of course you're a survivor, but that's not the focus.
Yeah.
The focus, because we're trying to get information when we brand it, because there's other survivors that need to hear about it. But there's more than that. There's the empowerment after you have that connection. It's an empowerment to know that I'm going to support you. You know what? That typically a lot of we've heard stories that say, I got a specific type of cancer that I'm surviving from, and now I know somebody that got that type of cancer, and that story, they begin to connect differently than
Yeah.
if it was with another type, even though everyone's different, their body's going to react different. But now it's like I'm hearing it, it's like, but where you come together, there is power when you come together and you think and you agree on things. You can manifest those things. So I think, and that to me, spiritual wellness, my spirit is getting fed. So now, I have these network of sisters that maybe I can call when I'm feeling down, or I can call when I'm going through something, or I can get agreed upon prayer warriors to come
Mhm.
and pray. So yeah, that's just a little part, of what the components of what we're trying to do, what we started out doing, what we see that has transpired. And I'm just excited. And we have some wonderful partners as well. Wonderful partners, cancer support community, Care Source, um, Maria Durant, who is a survivor herself. And, I don't want to get in trouble because I didn't name all of them, but we have just some wonderful community partners. And Jamez, you may want to say, okay, there's some things that we do before we get to the fashion show. Like, how do they find out?
Yeah, like, for example, we have our flyer going around, and we want to thank Pam for sharing it, and Deshawn and everybody in our network, because we have our casting call. And so the casting call is this Saturday at the Northside Library, but we need you to register so you can make sure you come out and do your thing so you could be a part of this. And then we have other things that lead up to that. We have meet and greets. We have practices in between that time, because we know that it takes your empowering part of connecting. And so we want to make sure that you get that in with knowing you can connect on the floor, you can connect with your girls and you're walking, and the guys that'll be in support this year, because we get men that come out and say, hey, I'm walking on behalf of my mother, my auntie, my sister, or anyone. We even have our youth getting incorporated now, starting at the age of 16. So again, if you know somebody that wants to come out and do that, have them come out Saturday, this Saturday.
What happens if they can't make it this Saturday? Is there a second time? Because everyone's like, well, now I just found out today. So you have a second call.
Casting 1 and casting 2.
That's right. Yes. We always like to give people a second chance. And so we do have one in April. Okay. And then, I'm always kind of open. And when I say I'm open, I like to open that opportunity where if you email us and you say, hey, I can't make it.
Right.
Send me an email, because you might be able to cast with me direct. You can send me your video. Let me see your walk. Let me just see how you want to come and be a part of this. Your why to your walk, because it's your thread in connecting that walk of hope is love.
So if everybody, I think this is awesome. And I want us to still get in time to talk about what else is going on. There's so much going on in the amazing organization. If someone wants to know more about At the Table in the fashion show, where can they go to?
So Deshawn and I have created our flyer that says, and we can go to attrainc.org, or you can go to Eventbrite. So, Eventbrite can At the Table, and then it's the Threads of Hope on Eventbrite.
Okay.
And then again, you can go to www.attrainc.org, not .com. I want to make sure I specify that it's .org.
Love it. Love it. So let's shift a little bit. As this amazing event come, I can't wait. I will definitely be sharing the flyer along. But as the fashion show is going, tell us what else is going on within At the Table.
Okay, so we have our Thrive program that is at Mifflin High School. Amazing program director that's been running that program for 8 years, Miss Sherry Young. So that's throughout the school year. And we actually go into Mifflin High School once a week, and we bring different mentors in. And that's all around the year program, which ends in May 22nd. That website Jamez gave you, click on, you can find all the information, or go to our page as well. And then I guess, Pam, we'll talk about that at the end, information. But it's the Thrive program. And then as we talked about the 2 casting calls, May and April, we will do our community, we decided it, but we will do our community family day and survivor walk on July 26th. So that event is going to be for the family. We'll have kid activities, and the focus is on the walk. So it's kind of like a launch to the fashion show.
Mhm.
So we'll be outside, we'll do our walk. And of course, our vendor director, Miss Latasha Rain, she's amazing. She, will have health and wellness resources and vendors and food. And that would be probably 9 to noon on July 26th. So more information about that will be coming, and that is a total free event. And then that's it. Yeah, because first they were 2, but now it's 1. It's the Community Day and Survivor Walk, July 26th. And then we go right into our signature event, which is the fashion show. We mentioned the support group. There's various things that go on within that support group. So that information was shared. Please go to the like the At the Table page on Facebook. And there's information there that is about our recent meet and greet we had over the weekend. So there'll be more information coming up about how you can get involved in that support group.
Can you talk a little bit about what I can expect in the support group? If someone's listening or watching, what can they expect out of that support group?
Okay, so one will be where we'll work. I mentioned our partners like Ohio State University, Molina. We will have a care line that if a young lady recently diagnosed with cancer, or a woman recently diagnosed with cancer, and they haven't made a decision, they haven't talked to a doctor, they just want to talk to somebody. We have been getting referrals. So we will, and this is beginning, so these things will happen in stages. But we will have a support line where they can call and talk to experts. They can talk to medical experts, not physicians, but just maybe counselors or psychologists. And I'm thinking of another name, advocates, a survivor, trained, going through training, because it's a very sensitive time, that will be able to they will be able to just talk to get emotional support, to get prayer. We already mentioned some of the events. We talked about focus on African American women and those numbers. We will have workshops, educational workshops that will provide education, health and wellness, and we didn't really get into that, but being healthy and well, health and wellness. When we talk about stress, when we talk about eating, it's going to be a part on it about being accountable, because you know what? God gave us this body. Who is responsible for the body? Mm-hmm. You are. Understand how it works. A lot of us, because I'm having these conversations, do you understand how your body works? Do you understand how God designed it? Do you know how He designed it? Pretty much. So we're giving them the prevention and a chance to understand versus chemo. Do you know what chemo does to your body? And this is not persuading one or the way, saying you should do this and you should do that. We would never do that, but giving you information. The facts are the facts. Do you know what chemo does to your body? Do you know what it is? Do you know what holistic wellness is? So they're being introduced to the information to be able to make a decision. So it's just that we're offering that. But being your own self-health advocate is very important. Mm-hmm. You have to be accountable. You have to take ownership. Once you get the information, what happens? You got to make a decision. So being healthy, we talk about mental health. It will be line dancing. Hey, exercise, because that's a form of walking. We'll have the walking circle. And then how do you give back? Community advocacy, because most of the women want to get involved and they want to say, what can we do to help further your initiative? What can we do to help get the word out? So they have an opportunity to be self-advocates and say, hey, I'm going to give back. I'm going to tell my story. Their stories are what people want to hear. Their stories are what people want to hear. So if it's an opportunity to go on television, They'll be on television promoting what we do. If it's an opportunity for them to be a part of a panel that's looking for African American cancer survivors, they'll have an opportunity to begin to tell their story, not only on the runway, but in these components of what this support group is going to provide.
I love it. So, say for instance, I am a listener, and one, I want to be part of this amazing support group if I'm one of those women. So, how can I become that? Two, all at the table is given and doing is amazing, and they want to be part. They want to volunteer. How can they do that as well?
Okay, I'm glad you asked, because we have specific, as we adjust and we look at that initially just events, and now we want to provide the support, the programs, we do need specific volunteers. So the website will have all that information, but I'm going to provide an email, our administrative email, our office email, to email, especially if you want to volunteer. We have volunteer opportunities to run our youth programs. I mentioned Thrive. Other schools want the program in their schools. So we're looking at KIPP Columbus. So we need people that, know how to run programs and can run those programs in the different schools. So the demand is getting there, but we got to have the right people that can, lead those programs. As the Denise Pittman Scholarship Program, we're proud to be doing that this year. We're going to open that up. There's opportunities in there that are director positions. So we have director positions, we have volunteer positions, health and wellness. We have it with Thrive as well. So write this email down: info@attrinc.org. And in that subject line, put, I want to volunteer. I'm interested in knowing what your volunteer opportunities are. The email or the website that Jamez mentioned earlier, you will go to that and you'll see volunteers, and you'll see that portal there, and you'll be able to select. And then we'll also be sharing on social media those specific opportunities, those volunteer opportunities. Right now, we've been doing community outreach and going to events and getting that information out by flyers. So you got several ways to get in touch, and we would love to have, if it's your passion, if it's what you want to do and be a part of our amazing team, come on. We's are waiting for you.
And then lastly, let's talk a little bit about the Denise Pittman's scholarship.
Oh,
So tell everybody a little bit about that.
wow. Well, Denise Pittman, as I mentioned, she is the co-founder of At the Table. She doesn't actively sit in leadership or on the board, but she is the founder of the Denise Pittman Scholarship Program. And you can read more about her specific story on our website. And she, so that scholarship opens up on for applications, and you can apply online on March 31st. And as I mentioned, if you go to our page, if you go to our website, the Denise Pittman page is updated, but everything we're talking about is on our page, and Instagram. We are identified as at the table rocks. And the Denise Pittman Scholarship awards scholarship to girls, high school graduating girls entering a college, a trade school, a technical school. It's not just a college, because everyone doesn't go to college. So, and then that's up until the age of 26 that's affected by cancer. They don't necessarily have to be cancer survivors, but if their parent or guardian is surviving from cancer or has passed away, they are eligible. The criteria is very specific, and then you can get that on the website. But we are excited. Denise, please go on the site and read her story. She has a phenomenal story. And she is generally in the fashion show and we celebrate her. So yes,
I love
March
it.
31st. And please share. You know, even if this information isn't specific for you, please share. Just share and get the word out.
I definitely will. I like that. Well, ladies, as we get ready to close down, first and foremost, Jamez, as we go on to, I love thread. I love the representation of thread. It has really stuck to me. I wrote it on my paper, so I'll definitely be referencing back to that. But as we get ready to close down, what would be one thing you would like to leave our listeners with?
You know, as you remember your love that you have for anyone that might have been a survivor in your family or anything, just remember that this is the reason for your why. If you really want to come out and passionately do this, even just make sure that they know about the network that is available at the table for today's event. The events that are coming up or whatnot, because this is a great connection that you can have. I know that my mother, again, was a survivor, and to be affiliated with such a great community of women, the dynamic connections, again, are just amazing. The empowerment of everyday movement and knowing that if you need that love, there is a group of women that have that. And so um, come on out and be a part of that with us with the At the Table event, and come to the casting and look into everything that you can with attrinc.org for the
Love.
website. Okay.
And Deshawn, what would you like to leave everybody with?
Don't let others identify who you are or stop you from walking in your truth. Be who God has designed you to be, and don't question. And I know I said that, don't think about it, walk in it. I know that was a couple words, but
Okay.
just embrace what you have in the inside, and be around people that support that. Get away from toxic environments.
Ladies, this was so much fun. I mean, our
I
time.
love you. I love you guys. And Pam,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. Pam has a good heart. She has a good heart. And your platform is coming.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Your platform is coming. Pam she's another supporter, longtime supporter when she's doing her business, and that's the thing. Everybody got things to do, other things they're working on, but they take the time to step outside of themselves and go help and support somebody else. That's boss right there.
Thank you.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, this was fun. I hope you guys have found this informative as I did. I got a whole bunch of notes. I have learned a lot. Hope this has impacted all of you. Again, if you are out there and you're like, oh, I want to be part of At the Table, they would love you to. Check out the website at www.attrinc.org. If not, also Deshawn dropped an email if you're interested in emailing. I'll drop it real quick, but it'll also be in our show notes. It's at info@attrinc.org. And in the subject line, if you want to volunteer, y'all, they need volunteers. Who doesn't want to volunteer at an amazing organization that is out here rocking it and doing their thing? So until next time, y'all, when we come back with another, hopefully At the Table will come back again, y'all, and they'll be able to tell us a little bit more how the fashion show went and stuff like that. So I can't wait. But until then, everybody, I want y'all to know that you only have this one life. Cherish it, use it, but use it to your advantage, not allow it to use it for someone else, and go out here and go after your what's next, no matter what. Until then, everyone, you rock and go after your vision, and it will be made. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.